you yesterday. Here in Kenya, there are floods. But we thank God we are alive and we are safe. And I want to thank God for this far. And I also appreciate you my viewers, you who take time to watch our videos, subscribe, new subscribers, returning subscribers, we really thank you. We pray for you that God blesses you, enlarges you, protects you, shields you together with your family. We don't take it for granted, guys. And today, I will start by saying, whatever we do in life has consequences. The choices we make in life have consequences. Why am I saying this? Today I want to talk about I am Marwa's biological dad. And guys, there is a man who has resurfaced and he has actually said that he's the biological father of I am Marwa. Remember, we have been used to seeing Congrats dad and Congrats mom. And it seems like Marwa was not the biological child of Congrats dad. And now this guy has come up and has declared that Marwa is his biological son, which we are not refusing. And this guy keeps on referring to Congrats mom as my wife. And when he was being interviewed, he said that the reason why they parted ways with Congrats mom was because their people were naive those days, and it looks like Congrats mom, according to him, by the way, he said that people were naive, they were not educated, and therefore Congrats mom was supposed to do all the work, I think, of the in-laws where she was married. She was supposed to take the cows to graze in the field. She was supposed to deal with cow dung, and she was supposed to do all this work in this man's house. My first question was, this man could not defend the wife so that their marriage can be intact. Because in Africa, it is very common that when you get married, there are some in-laws that want to use you, want to make you like a slave to them. You do all the chores, and yet you're going to teach, because Congrats mom was a teacher. She's going to teach in the school, and she's supposed to do all the donkey work at home. And according to what I listened to this man saying, it's like Congrats mom was supposed to do all the work and yet go and teach and then bring the salary, and then this salary becomes the salary to support the family. And I think Congrats mom, like any other woman, could not take this. And she decided to go together with her child, who was very, very barely 1 year. Guys, I tell you, people are very courageous and they are very daring. By the time they were leaving this guy, I can't remember his name, Marwa was 1 year. Because he's talking about 1987, 1986 is when the Marwa was conceived, and 1987, that is when they parted ways, because according to him, they were not very, what can we say? They were very naive. And therefore, Congrats mom was meant to do all the work, and she could not take it. So she decided to go with her son, and she went. Now, the next thing is that after she went with the child, this guy never bothered to know where did they go, how is the child faring, what is happening to his child, because according to him, Marwa is his first child. And this is a male child. Most men are very possessed with their first son. And therefore, this man, as the biological father of I am Marwa, would have gone to whichever end to make sure that the child is growing properly, even if you don't maybe visit him, because maybe, according to him, maybe Congrats dad could not have allowed him to go to the compound and visit this child. And we are not told, by the way, guys, Winnie. And Winnie, we don't know whether Winnie is the daughter of Kograt's dad. But if Winnie is not the daughter of Kograt's dad, it means that after departing with this man, Kograt's mom stayed alone for about maybe many years. And therefore my question is, this man, after Kograt's mom left the home because of them overworking her, he never forward to know how the child is faring, how the wife, this woman he's calling the wife, is doing, struggling with a child alone, and feeding this child until he's ready to go to school, educating this child alone, and then Kograt's mom married Kograt's dad. This man never bothered because according to him, from that time they parted, 1987, 36 years down the line, he has never seen the child, he has never taken interest in either paying school fees or doing something to support his own child. Okay, let me understand him. He's saying when he was a child, he had an attack of polio. Maybe he was sick. But even if you are sick, you take the initiative to look for your child, to show your child love, to tell him that I am your dad. Even if people prevent you how, you make sure you get a chance to meet your child. But this did not happen. And therefore, after 36 years, this man resurfaces and talks about I am Marwa being his biological son, which is okay because it is very, very, very normal for people to part ways even after giving birth. And in Africa, this is very common. But to the men that are responsible, they follow the child and they support the child with the little they have. Even if you don't have much, just try to support the child with the little you have. And even if you don't support the child, make sure you see the child and you know his welfare. So this man did not visit Kograt's mom, or rather he did not see Marwa from the time Marwa was 1 year to now. Marwa, according to him, is that 7 years. We are yet to know that because according to me, I don't know whether he's the biological father or he has just come. It is just a man who has seen a chance to come and exploit I am Marwa. Now that he can see his star is shining, he's actually helping people in Nyambohanse. He's actually uplifting the lives of people in Nyambohanse. He's holding the people's hearts and walking with them to the journey of success. Maybe he wants to be one of them. Because actually, let me jump. There is a part he said, I am Marwa has so many friends and I would want to be introduced to these friends. Then he said that is another bait. It is a bait of what he's interested in. So he said, my son is so famous and he has so many friends and I would want to be introduced to some of his friends. And then he said, when Masubo One told him, I'm coming the second time to your house, he told him, Masuba One, according to him, told him, let me do shopping for you as I come to your house. And the guy said, I don't want you to do some shopping for me. I want you to bring the money. That is another bit. The other thing, Masuba One claimed that this money that he was to use to shop for this guy came from a lady from UK. You and me know the tingle. You know the only woman from UK is Baby G. And Baby G is actually the one who fights all the Rizzi gang to go against Marwa, to go against this family, to bring them down. First of all, let me stop about I am Marwa's father. I'll come back to that later. I deal with Masubo One. Masubo One, why did he bring this content of I am Marwa's dad? And if he was genuine enough and was caring enough and he's doing all this for the sake of Marwa, he would have called them in secret, talked to them and let the father and the son reconcile, Let the father and the son have a private talk. Let the father and the son get to know each other. Let the father and the son have a son to father talk. But instead of all that, Masubo one gets this dad and puts a very big heading online. I am Marwa's biological father resurfaces. And on top of that, my dear guys, calls on trending, calls Amkaro, calls all the Rizzi gang and tells them there is here content about Marwa's dad. Because all of them actually were saying we were called. On trending said I was called by someone to tell me that Marwa's dad has resurfaced and he told me to watch the video so that I can shoot content. So what am I saying? This is a trick, or this is a game that is being played here to destroy Congrats' mom name and to bring Marwa down, that he has not accepted the father, that he has not recognized the father, that he is running away from his biological dad. First of all, before you go to all that, because I know this is where it is heading, with these haters, anything is possible. Before you go to that, and therefore Masubo one finds Marwa's dad, does not contact Marwa, goes with a camera, interviews this man, and actually this man, if you're interested in finding your son, you don't have to go to the camera. You clearly said that you usually talk to Congrats' mom through the phone. Why didn't you call Congrats' mom and actually tell her, I want us to have a seat so that we can discuss about our son? Why go to the people, the bloggers, and actually start talking about your son, the way your son never took your call, the way the mother to your son brought police to you? I don't know why Congrats' mom called police for you. Maybe you are trying to be a nuisance to her son, and you never helped in bringing this son up, and you never supported her in any way when she was struggling to bring up this son. Do you know how it is painful, Masubo one and your guest there? Do you know how it is painful for a single mom to bring up a child alone, to educate that child, to struggle with a child, and it is a boy child, when the father is there actually next to them, because according to this man, he comes from Kuria East and I AM Marwa comes from Kuria West. So it is just a neighboring village. And it has taken this man 36 years to resurface. Where were you? Why didn't you resurface earlier? Why didn't you follow your son? And even if you were being prevented to see your son when he was young, when he grew old, why didn't you make a point of visiting them? Because now he's old. Because according to you, you watch I AM MARWA'S videos. So you knew when he's in the village, you knew where he is, you knew what he was doing. Then you would have visited the villa and talked to your son one-on-one. Why should you go to the camera and talk about your son on people that are actually bringing hatred to the family? People who are against the family. Why should you do that? If you really want to reconcile with your child, you would have called the mother and the child and you sit down, and actually even if they refuse, you can engage the men in the village, the elders in the village. They intervene on you seeing the son, the sub-chief, the chief, so that you can be allowed to talk to your son. Why have you taken 36 years and now you are coming to tell us you want your son back, you don't want anything from him? Then why are you looking for him at this time? Why are you engaging the brothers at this time? Why are you doing all this to this young man who has just seen his star rising? The other thing, this guy talked about, I have told you, he told Masubo one, you should not do shopping for me. Instead, you should give me money so that I can pay school fees for the children who are in high school. This guy has other children he's supposed to educate. He does not have money. So what is he looking for? Money to educate his step-brothers and step-sisters? Is that the way to go? After all those years, you never bothered about Marwa. Now you want Marwa to come to the picture when you have struggles in life. It's not bad for Marwa to see you. And I'm not refuting. I'm not against Marwa finding the dad, because Marwa will never find another dad apart from you. But I think your timing is actually wrong. And also, your way of doing things is also wrong. Your contact people are also the wrong people. Because right now, Masupa One and all there's a gang, you cannot convince Marwa that you were interviewed by one of his enemies, one of the people that wants to bring him down, and then you want to reconcile with him. That is next to impossible. So your way of doing things is wrong. Your timing is also wrong. You are going to social media is also wrong. Because you had the avenue. And the other thing, you said that you constantly talk with congressman, and you meet and you greet each other and you talk, and there is no beef between you and congressman. Then during this talking, during this calling, during this conversation, why haven't you asked congressman to introduce you to your son? To bring along the son so that you can have communication with him? Why haven't you reached out to this boy that you are dearly telling us you are ready to give him an inheritance? You want to share the ancestral rod with him. Why didn't you appear when he was going through the struggles? Because I Am Marwa has gone through the struggles to an extent of losing an eye. And after that, he went to Corobia to look for means to survive. And he struggled there. And that is how he started his YouTube channel. Now that he has become famous, now that he is helping people in the village, now that he is doing a lot of things, is it the time you're looking for him? Do you have any hidden agenda? Are you really the father to this child? There are so many question marks in this information. The other thing, what have these people given you to agree to sit with them for an interview? Because it is so ironical that you are sitting the first interview, the second interview with these people, and it seems now you have started receiving money from UK. You don't know the source of this money. This money might be to buy your son's happiness. These people have been paid to tarnish your son's name. I hope you're going to watch this video. And you are collaborating with them, allowing them to send you money, and actually sitting down to have an interview with them. The interview most likely will bring your son down. Don't you think you are even putting the gap between you and your son wider instead of narrowing it? There are so many ways you would have done to narrow the gap between you and your son. But you have chosen a way that is going to widen the gap between you and your son. Maybe knowingly or unknowingly. But it's an advice to you. If you really want your son back, if you really want your son to come to you and to love you and to embrace you as the biological father, then you have to look for a clever way of meeting your son, having a conversation with your son, so that you can come to terms. But when you continue having interviews with these people, when you continue having interviews that are against your son, that are being done by people who are putting your son down, then I don't see you reconciling with your son. Unless you have another agenda of actually getting money from these people without necessarily meeting your son. So it is for you to decide, Marwa's dad, whether you really want your son back or you just want fame and money from UK, money from US, because it will come. It has been flowing to the pockets of the haters. It will flow in your pocket, but at the disadvantage of your son. Do not sell your son for little money that can end anytime. Just look for a way to meet your son, look for a way to talk to your son, look for a way you can actually converse with the congressman so that you can have a talk with your son. That is the right way. That is the best way. But these other ways that you are using will bring destruction, will widen the gap between you and your son, will actually make your son dislike you, hate you, and he will not want to meet you again. So it is good to be clever even as you deal with all these things. And I have said now and again, money is the source of all evil. Money can buy so many things, but money also can destroy so many things. So it is very, very important, because it's like these people are ready to give any money to bring I Am Marwa down, to bring Congrats Mom down, to bring this family down in general. So it is very, very important, Marwa's dad, you be careful what you are doing. You be careful whom you are meeting with. You be careful who is interviewing you. You be careful who is coming to you. Because why did Masuba One come for the second interview? Because the first interview was actually trending in his channel. He got a lot of views, and since he's getting money from YouTube, by the number of views that he's getting, he will come so many times, because this is the content people want. This is the story people want to hear. These are the gossips that are hot and sweet gossips. Because the other day I told you, negative reaction is about sweet gossips that is twisted to look like it is something else. If you look at the heading for today, Masuba One put a heading that Congrats Mom brought police to Congrats Dad. It has not come out clear in the video how Congrats Mom brought police to this guy, not Congrats Dad, this guy who claims that he's the biological dad to I Am Marwa. And therefore, it is actually headings that are destroying this family. They are headings that are putting this family down. And it is also bringing shame to I Am Marwa's mom. And if you are claiming you have no beef with Congrats Mom, you have no grudges with Congrats Mom, why are you coming here to expose her? Why are you removing his past here in the public? Because I saw in the comment section, people started asking so many questions and interpreting them in a very, very bad way. Why are you doing this to your wife, whom you say you had no grudge, you loved her, and you are ready to go with her, apart from the fact that those days you are naive and you could not be able to keep the wife? So I Am Marwa's dad. Know the right thing to do. Know the best way to approach your son. And know the best way to tackle the problem at hand. You meeting your son, you reconciling with your son, you having a friendship with your son, you actually allowing your son in your life. And this can only happen peacefully. But there is no peace when you choose to use people who are actually putting your son down. So it is an advice to you. You take it or leave it, but this is an advice to you. Marwa is a nice guy. He might decide to forgive you. He might decide to reconcile with you. He's actually a very down-to-earth man. And he's a peaceful man. He pursues peace. So most likely, he will agree to have a meeting with you. But you must choose who to talk to and who not to talk to, so that you can have a friendship with your son. You can have a bond with your son. Because I'm sure maybe that is what you are looking for, if at all you are not looking for something else. Guys, there are so many questions we can ask about this dad who has resurfaced, but I don't want to put a lot of doubt on him. Maybe one day we will see him and Marwa together. But right now, we don't even know whether he's the biological dad or not. Time will tell, and the things that will follow will tell us whether he's actually the biological dad or not. And I'm sure Marwa will reach him out, or he will reach Marwa out. Whichever the way, we are going to know the truth. So I'll stop at this, guys, and this is a lesson to all men. Do not forsake your child when he's young, when he needs you, when he's growing up, when they are having problems, and then you resurface when the children are up. I remember there is this guy I was actually teaching, and the father had rejected him. And he went through schools with a lot of problems. He went through school through bursaries. And then by God's grace, he got a scholarship to go to Germany. And he happened to invite me. That time he had already completed school. He happened to invite me to go and say bye-bye to him as he was leaving to go to Germany. And I happened to meet this guy who was the father, whom I had quarreled so many times because he had refused to pay school fees for the son. And the man was so shy and so ashamed to face me because he knew I had struggled to get school fees for this boy that he had denied, that he didn't have any ties with. But now that he has succeeded, he was there standing as the father. Men, let us learn lessons. Let us take care of our children, even if we don't move on with the mothers. Let us take our children seriously and have time with them and support them so that even when they succeed in life, they are going to appreciate you as the dad. Bye-bye, guys. See you during the next video. Please share, comment, like, and subscribe.